It was Tuesday noon, August 14, 1945, when Radio Tokyo broadcast a statement by Emperor Hirohito. The Second World War ended 4 years after the United States entered the war. President Harry Truman just announced the end of the war. The day was called the Victory over Japan Day. Times Square was crowded with people celebrating, but how many frames it takes to take an iconic photograph? 10, 20, 100? And you definitely need a big and expensive camera with super fast lens for that. Well, Alfred Eisenstaedt had a little different idea. What's up, photography fans? Today I'm going to share with you the story of one of the most famous and reproduced pictures of the 20th century. I'm going to talk about the story behind the photograph, the composition, as well as the controversy surrounding it. So let's check out the VG Day in Times Square. The Victory over Japan Day in Times Square, known as VG Day in Times Square, is a photograph taken in 1945 by Alfred Eisenstaedt. Alfred Eisenstaedt was an American photographer and photojournalist born in Germany. After he emigrated to the US in 1935, he worked for the Life magazine, which featured more than 90 of his photographs on its cover and published more than 2,050 of his photo stories. He was one of the most important and most active photojournalists of 20th century. It was Tuesday noon, August 14, 1945. Times Square was crowded with people celebrating. Alfred Eisenstaedt was walking in the crowd with his Leica 3A. Commissioned by the Life magazine to bring back pictures from the celebration, he was looking for the perfect moment. And that's exactly what he found at 5:51 p.m. I saw a sailor running along the street, grabbing any and every girl in sight. I was running ahead of him with my Leica, looking back over my shoulder, but none of the pictures that were possible pleased me. Then suddenly, in a flash, I saw something white being grabbed. I turned around and clicked the moment the sailor kissed the nurse. If she had been dressed in a dark dress, I would have never taken the picture. If the sailor had worn a white uniform, the same. I took exactly 4 pictures. It was done within a few seconds, he said. The contrast between his dark uniform and her white dress is what gives the picture the extra impact. When Eisenstaedt talked about his photographic process, he said the big part of his success was luck. But you do have to keep your eyes open too, he said. His camera, the small Leica 3, was also something why he wasn't taken very seriously. They don't take me too seriously with my little camera, he said to New York magazine. I don't come as a photographer, I come as a friend. Life magazine printed the picture on its cover. It became the best known photo of Alfred Eisenstaedt. Eisenstaedt made a total of 4 frames. When we look at the composition, we can see he picked the one where the bended body of the nurse is on the diagonal and her calf is parallel with the sailor's arm. As you can see, both faces are hidden, which was great in terms of GDPR, but it turned out to be problematic when they actually wanted to find out the identity of the couple. To figure out the exact time, 3 astrophysicists examined connection between sunset in Manhattan and clock position. Together with the testimony of witnesses, they were able to turn down many pairs who claimed to be the photographed pair. There were different pairs coming to Life's office claiming they were the ones for more than 30 years. Photojournalist Victor Jorgensen captured the same scene from another angle. That photo was published in New York Times the next day. The title of that photograph is Kissing the War Goodbye. The photo is actually not protected by copyright since Jorgensen was the US Navy photojournalist. Therefore, the photograph is in the public domain. The mystery was solved in 2012 when a new book, The Kissing Sailor, was published. George Mendonça and Greta Friedman were revealed to be the actual pair. His tattoos and scarves that matched the scarves and tattoos in the photograph were the key factors to confirm the identity of the sailor. The excitement of the war being over, plus I had a few drinks, so when I saw the nurse, I grabbed her and kissed her, he said. She was a dental nurse from Austria who emigrated to the US in 1939. Interesting thing is, there is actually another person identified in the picture. The girl is Rita Petri, who was dating Mendonça at that time and later married him. Friedman later said in an interview, "I felt he was very strong. He was just holding me tight, and I'm not sure about the kiss because, it was just somebody really celebrating. But it wasn't a romantic event. It was just an event of thanks God the war is over kind of thing." Adding that it wasn't my choice to be kissed. The guy just came over and kissed or grabbed, she said. There is also a 7.6 meter tall sculpture sculpted by Stuart Johnson in 2005. The sculpture was displayed in several cities. However, there is also a little controversy about the picture. The composition is also being interpreted as a photo documentation of a sexual assault. The art critic Michel Kimmelman said the composition is a reflection of the time's mood. The pair represents the returning troops and those who would welcome them home. Shortly after George Mendonça died, the statue was vandalized with Me Too graffiti. What I think about it is that even though I condemn this type of behavior against women, the acts should be judged in the context of times and situations of when they happened. Alfred Eisenstaedt died at the age of 96 in 1995. He was an incredible photographer and took many amazing pictures. However, he believed the kiss to be the best shot in his career. Now, I have to say, I love photography equipment. I like watching reviews, checking in the store, or eventually buying it. However, as you can see, you don't need a big and expensive equipment to take an iconic shot. It is nice to have, but it is not necessary. After all photographers have to do is find and catch the storytelling moment. Thank you for watching.